शुक्रिया रज़ाउल्ला हमारे संग जुड़ने के लिए। Mohamed Al-Bashir has been appointed as the caretaker Prime Minister of Syria's transitional government. He's announced that Syrians who have sought refuge abroad should return to their homeland. This comes days after the country grappled with the end of civil war following the ousting of longtime President Bashar al-Assad over the weekend. Israel, defying condemnation from Arab states, has stepped up strikes though in Syria to seal off a buffer zone and prevent rebel groups from seizing weapons from the ousted Assad regime. These are the latest updates coming in on this big story. Mohamed Al-Bashir has given an appeal to Syrians to come back to their homeland. Well, this of course comes days after the country grappled with the end of civil war. Israel also meanwhile has stepped up its offensive though in Syria, conducting strikes on various targets. Brian Thomas is joining us for more on this story. Brian, what is the situation now in Syria? Strikes by Israel continue. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister there has issued a statement as well.
Well, Uday, definitely now Syria's newly appointed transitional Prime Minister Mohamed Al-Bashir has now called on Syrians who fled abroad during the conflict to return home, following the removal also of longtime President Bashar al-Assad. He was, yes, selected by rebel groups to lead a transitional government until March, and said one of his primary objectives is to repatriate millions of refugees, and said that the human capital and experience will help the country flourish, and urged that Syria is now a free nation that has regained its pride and dignity. He says all the citizens who have fled to come back, and they must, all of them rather, must rebuild and reborn, and everyone needs their help. And this Islamist-led opposition alliance that ousted Assad swept in Damascus over this very weekend that happened, marking the end of the 5 decades of authoritarian rule also by his family. Assad has reportedly, yes, like we've been covering, reportedly fled the country. And Syria's 14-year civil war, which claimed 500,000 lives.
Absolutely. Now, what about the strikes by Israel? Where are they happening and what's the objective, Brian?
Well, Uday, there have been immense airstrikes that have been happening, and now also, very importantly, even the Syria's opposition leader said that the officials are also involved in torturing details and will not be pardoned as well. And there have been attacks also where the residents of Latakia also, celebrated the arrival of opposition forces after the fall of Bashar al-Assad's regime, and even even Israeli strikes also targeted sites that link to the ousted Assad's regime military in Latakia and Tartus provinces. Now, very importantly, there has to be noted that even the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights reported that the strikes hit military sites including Latakia port and warehouses in Tartus as well. And even there, the UK-based monitor further also noted that Israeli air raids have also been systematically destroying Syria's remaining military arsenal for 4 consecutive days following the regime's fall as well. Uday.
Brian, thank you for joining us with those updates. Let's turn our focus to more news coming in now. Israel has eliminated the head of Hamas's paragliding unit and a commander in the terror group's elite Nukba force, both of whom participated in the October 7th attacks. The IDF has said that he was killed in the area of Jabalia, an area of northern Gaza where Hamas was trying to regroup. During the October 7th attack, he reportedly led Hamas's aerial infiltration into southern Israel. Aditya Vadhavan is joining us for more on this story. Aditya, more success for the IDF in Gaza?
Salah Daman was, the Israeli Defense Forces have eliminated Salah Daman. So he was active in resisting IDF forces in Gaza by coordinating Hamas aerial actions and was operating from Jabalia, around 4 kilometers from Gaza city. This can be thought as a major success for the Israeli Defense Forces. So it needs to be seen as to how, what events do follow post the killing of.
Yes. What is now the strategy of the IDF moving forward?
The Israeli Defense Forces will continue to eliminate such fringe elements that are present across the border, because it is already embroiled by a conflict on the 3 sides. So it is because, as we have known, that Benjamin Netanyahu has always been taken up aggressive approach towards, such Hamas and Hezbollah groups. So this will continue to, they will continue to eliminate big shots, big terrorist leaders who threaten Israel's sovereignty, and as and when they get an opportunity, they try to.
Yes, stay with us. Sanjeev Srivastav, international affairs expert, is also joining us on the broadcast. Sanjeev, what do you make of this latest strike by Israel?
I think, first of all, a very good morning to you. Good morning to all the viewers. Israel is fighting its biggest war against terrorism since October 7, 2023. And that war is very much continuing with it. And Israel, whenever it gets opportunity to eliminate the top leadership of these terrorist organizations, whether it is Hamas or Hezbollah or Houthi, Benjamin Netanyahu and IDF, Israeli Defense Forces, they will strike. And they have done it yet again. And they have eliminated this Hamas paraglider unit chief. And obviously, there are several such targets Israel has as far as the Hezbollah is concerned, Houthi terrorist organization is concerned, and those other organizations which are operating in Syria and Iraq also. So I think this is a ongoing part of the ongoing war of Israel against terrorism, and this process will continue. And when you have Donald Trump in White House from January 20th onwards, you will see more determined strikes will be carried out by Israel against these terrorist outfits. And
Yes.
Israel is taking obviously a lot of proactive measures. Currently, you see that Israel is also operating in Syria, within Syria, considering the fact that the Hayat Tahrir al-Sham like organization is now taking over power, and they have had links with Al-Qaeda. So I think Israel is taking this kind of preemptive measures.
Yes,
right?
because it's a two-pronged approach that they've taken. They're also, of course, concentrating on those strikes in Syria. Meanwhile, of course, this northern Gaza strikes continue as well.
Yes, I think yes, certainly, Uday. I think these are preemptive measures, preemptive military operations they are conducting against terrorist outfits, and they want to eliminate such threats even before they occur, and even before they threaten Israeli defenses and defy Israeli interests. So I think this kind of approach Israel has had, and Benjamin Netanyahu is known for carrying out this kind of hard strikes against terrorist outfits. You have seen that Hamas's chief and the top leadership has been eliminated. Even the Hezbollah's top leadership is eliminated. So I think this kind of operations by Israel against terrorist outfits will continue in times ahead too.
Okay. My thanks to you, Sanjeev, for joining us with your perspective on this story. Also, thanks to Aditya, who joined us earlier. Let's take a very short break.